Hello everyone and welcome to Utechpia. We're live on Amazon, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch TV. And I am disappointed to say I installed the graphics card and power supply wrong. I did it wrong, guys. This is the first time I'm installing a fully modular power supply. This one here that I'm installing, let me show you which one I'm installing. This is the one I'm installing right on your screen here. This is a really nice one. You can grab it on Amazon right now. I got the GX 750. You can get the GX 850 right now for $139.99 on Amazon. Really good power supply. Basically, it's a 80 plus gold, fully modular. You got fan control, silent mode, fanless mode, cooling mode, 10-year warranty, and my favorite part is basically it's fully modular. That means all the cables are not attached to your power supply and you can connect any cable you want. So look how sweet and clean the power supply looks with no cables attached. Now the problem is when I try to install it, I installed it wrong. And let me show you right now how to properly install it. Basically, I wired the graphics card improperly. So let me show you on another screen here. Let me share my screen with you so you guys can see what's going on. There we go. Here's a good overview. Okay, so here's the computer case we got here, and let me show you the part that I installed wrong. So I don't know if you guys can see me moving around a little bit too much. Sorry about that. Here we go. Okay, so what we have here is the power supply manual, and basically, if we install the power supply, we need to make sure we connect the motherboard to the power supply motherboard connection. And then if we have other peripherals, they go here. You see right here, these are for all the other peripherals. I actually mistakenly put the peripherals into the motherboard port, which is not right. So to install the graphics card, they recommend installing 2 different cables to the graphics card. You see, power supply, 1 cable to graphics card, another cable to graphics card, versus what I did is I just used 1 cable from the power supply to the graphics card, and that's improper way to install it. You need to install it with 2 cables, and the 2 cables come from the port that's not the motherboard. It comes from the extra peripheral PCI connection. So let's go ahead and install that right now the proper way. So let us open up this huge case, and then we're going to use this power supply that's already installed here. So to open this huge case, what we do is we go over here, unscrew the top here, right here. So there's 2 thumb screws that hold this case together. 1 thumb screw there. Let's get one more right here. Got 2 thumb screws to take apart. So the 2 thumb screw, once you take the 2 thumb screw, you slide the top panel out this way. See? And then that comes out. And then what you do is you lift this up, and up comes the top panel of this case. Now we got 1 panel down, and that's good. So the next panel is the front. The front's really easy. All you do is lift up here, and then you take the front out. So front panel's out. Look at those beautiful GIM fans, guys. You can get 5 of these for like $35, or I think $45 for 5, or you can get 3 for like 30 bucks. Really good. I'll power them up in just a bit so you can see how nice they look. Let me put down the front cover here. And then to open this back panel, there's 1 screw here. I'm gonna undo this screw right here. This is actually the front panel. This screw here is used to lock the case when you don't want the side to open. But look how nice it opens once you unlock it. Boom! Look at this. This is our system here. You got the Noctua NHD 15. You have dual fans, and underneath there you got Ryzen 3950X CPU. Here you got the GeForce RTX 2070 Super. And see how we wired this incorrectly? The way we wired it, let me turn on the light here so you can see better. The way we wired it is this 1 cable coming from the power supply that feeds into both the 8-pin as well as the 16-pin. And the correct way to do it is feed 2 cables from the power supply. So 1 cable goes to the 8-pin and 1 other cable goes directly to the 6-pin. So that way it works better and it uses the power supply more efficiently. So let's go ahead and do that. But first, since we open up the case here to remove the glass, very easy to remove the glass. Just gonna lift up here, and you see these pins right here? They're gonna allow us to remove the glass of the computer front. So let me see if I can do this with 1 hand. Nope, can't do it with 1 hand. It's requires a little bit of motion. I'll have to put down the camera to lift this up. So lifting it up right now, you see, comes off just like that. We'll put this to the side here. Perfect. So now, if you look inside the case, we have this door wide open. So then now let's go ahead and open up the back. The back opens up with these 2 thumb screws right here. So here's one. And then we got another one down here. So these 2 thumb screws allow the back panel to slide off. Boom. We'll lift up the back panel right here. Here comes the back panel. All right, so we get the back panel off. So now we have access to our computer, and I'm gonna flip this computer around so we can start working it back because the power supply is down here, and we're gonna pipe up the power from the power supply through these ports here. So basically, we're gonna connect the 2 wires, one that's the 8-pin and one that's the 6-pin. So let's go ahead and turn this computer around. Boom, turn this around this way. Oh gosh, this computer is heavy, and we'll power it up so you guys can see the fans running. So for this demonstration, I'm actually going to use the external power supply just to power up the fans so they look nice during our demonstration right here. So here's the power supply. Whoops, upside down. Here's the power supply from the back. And this is the Seasonic Focus GX750 power supply here. This thing is beautiful. Love the Seasonic power supply. You can grab these on Amazon right now. Really good deal, 10-year warranty, 80 plus gold, fully modular power supply. These are really good power supplies, so check that out. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna open up these thumb screws. Actually, before we do that, let me just power up the GIM fans for you. So these are the GIM fans. These are the KB23s. Highly recommend them because they look sick. So let me power them up with the SATA connection here. And to power these SATA connection up, I'm just gonna hook it up to this power supply that I got on the side here. Very easy to do. Just power it up, and one moment you will see the RGB fans come alive. So there they are. RGB fans just came alive. You see the hub is also colored, powered on as well. And yeah, it looks really nice. But we're not here for the RGBs. We're here to fix the power supply here. So we're going to need to install the cables correctly. So let me open these. So when I undo these 2 screws right here, what these 2 screws undo is they allow me to open this panel back here so that I can take a look at how to wire up the power supply. So I know it's a little bit dark here, so let me turn on the light a little bit so you guys can see. So here's the power supply, and you see how, yeah, I connected to the wrong port. So let me unconnect this. This is incorrect because you see, this here, this whole section here, this is for the motherboard and the CPU. So you see here it says MB and CPU. So we probably want to use the peripherals here. So we need 2 cables. So here's one cable that is for the graphics card. And you know, with the modular power supply, you get all these cables. So let's put, whoops, one just dropped. All these modular cables. So which one do we need? We know that the motherboard one is this big beefy one. So when we install this one, it's gonna be, the motherboard will take this slot as well as this slot next to it. So I guess as long as we use the peripheral ports right here, we should be fine with the SATA cables. So we got another one here. This is another cable here. Shoot. Hi. Oh, we got a comment. Hey, am I the only one watching? No, actually, I'm streaming this live on YouTube as well as Twitch TV, as well as Amazon Live and Facebook. So there's tons of people watching on different platforms. So thanks for stopping by. Make sure you like this video and subscribe if you haven't already. So thank you very much for your comment. And now we continue to install the rest of this. So basically, you got, this is another cable that we're going to use to run the power from the power supply to our graphics card on the other side. So we're going to undo this tie here. Let me put down the phone so I can undo the tie. So undo this tie right here. There we go. So another really nice cable from Seasonic comes with all these power supply cables. So this one, you see the letters here. So you know that this end right here, you can see it says PSU, right? If I can show you right there, it says PSU right on the cable. So this one goes to the power supply. So we can plug it to pretty much any one that connects that has the 4-pin here. So we can use this one or this one. So let's just use, yeah, we have a lot of them. We can use this one, or this one. I'm gonna save this one to go with anything that connects to the motherboard. So I'll leave this part up here for the motherboard related stuff. So we can use either this one, or this one. We'll need 2 of them. So let's just use the top one and the second one. Yeah. So, or let's use this. Let's just use this one and this one, just so that it really doesn't matter. We can use any one. This one, or this one. But we need 2 of them. So here's one. So we'll plug this in here, and then we need another one. This is the one that we already have connected to our graphics card. So we'll put this one right here. So there we go. We got 2 of them, and then we'll route this cable over to the other side to get to the graphics card. So you see, here's the power supply. Here's the 2 cables. One is already routed to the other side, and we route one more to the other side. So here goes the other one. So I love that these shrouds here allow me to run my wire and have it very efficient. So we'll run it right through just like that. And then on the other side, we should be able to hook it up. So I'll close this panel here. That way the cables aren't messy and they're organized. And then we can put this case, flip the case around so we can see the top of the case. Right, just like that. All right, so let me put this down on the fan so you guys can see the inside of the fan there. And let me flip this case down so you can see the top of the case. All right. Okay, so let me move the table out just a tad so we get some room to work with here. All right, so on this side, you can see the cables came up from our power supply, right? So we have 2 cables. Remember, I installed this one wrong because previously I installed just 1 cable, and then this 1 cable splits up to a 6-pin. Actually, it splits up to 2 8-pins, but it's incorrectly installed. So let me take this out so you guys can see. You see how each cable comes and it has an 8-pin on one end and another 8-pin here, just like this cable. You see how it comes from the power supply, and you have an 8-pin right here, as well as another 8-pin. And the way the 8-pin works is that it's really a 6-pin, and then next to it is a connection that allows you to have another 2-pin, so you have a total of 8 pins, right? So the way that the power supply manual says we need to install it is we need to install 2 cables. So again, if you look at the manual right here, this is what we want to do. So let me turn off the light so it's a little bit easier to see. So you see from the power supply, we have this connection reserved for the motherboard, so we don't touch this one. But for the graphics card, we can use any of the PCIe/CPU ones, and we're gonna connect, boom, to 2 of them. And the reason why we need 2 is because that's the recommended procedure for high-power graphics card. What we did earlier is the standard way, and we don't want to use the standard way because we have a very high-power graphics card. We have the RTX 2070 Super. So 1 power supply with 1 cable that splits into 2 is no good. Don't do that. That's not what we want. What we want is either of these configuration. We want 2 cables from the power supply to go individually to each of the 2 power ports. So 1 boom and 1 boom, or 1 boom and 1 boom. And the reason why they're split is because you can have a simple straight cable or a cable that splits. And since I only have the cable that splits, it's going to look like this. So basically 2 cables from the power supply to the graphics card. So we're going to install that really quick. So these are the 2 cables, and you see 1 is already to the graphics card, and don't use the split part. So we'll just put this down here, so we're not using that. And then this other cable, this one, is going to go just like this, and it's going to be connected right here. If I can focus right. I guess it's a little bit dark, so you guys can't see very well, but here's the other one. And just basically push it down like this, because this one is a 6-pin, very simple 6-pin here. You see, 6-pin. And then we don't need this extra 2-pin, so we can put it here just so it's out of the way. So snap that down, and that's it. So we have an 8-pin here and a 6-pin. Remember, each cable goes to the power supply directly, right? So 6-pin, boom, to the power supply on the other side. 8-pin, boom, to the power supply on the other side. And that's how you properly install a high-power graphics card on a really beefy graphics card. Sorry, how do you install a really beefy graphics card to your power supply? Remember, 2 cables. Make sure you get 2 cables. And look at these beautiful RGB fans, by the way. These are the GIM KB24 fans. They look awesome. Well, that's it for this video. I just wanted to show you guys how to install the power delivery to the graphics card from your power supply. And really, what I did wrong was I had my installation simply was this method right here, where I had 1 cable connected to the power to the graphics card. You actually want 2 cables from the power supply to the graphics card. So make sure you use 2 cables from the power supply to the graphics card and not 1 cable from the power supply to the graphics card if you have a high power graphics card. Alright guys, that's the video. Thank you so much for watching. Take care, stay safe, and I'll see you guys next time. So, whoops, there we go. Wrong screen. There's the screen, and let me show you off the picture of, oh, I'm doing it wrong. Anyway, take care, stay safe guys. Thanks for watching. Like, follow, subscribe on Utechbia, on Amazon Live, YouTube Live, Twitch TV, and Facebook. And with that, we will end the stream. So thanks for watching. See you guys. Adios.